I'm Adish Lal, and I'm a senior consultant from MICROGENX from here in Brisbane in Queensland, Australia.
And I'm David John, Technical Director at GEOGENX.
We are participating in the 2010 Microsoft Spotlight program, where we have developed an application for it.
It's an incident management application. Hopefully will be used by the emergency services to manage all their resources.
Okay, DJ, do you want to take us through?
We'll enter through into the application. So this is using the Bing Maps 3D control. That allows you obviously to use the map. Now you log in by, you would usually have a card. If you see, we've got Frank Miller here, whoever Frank Miller is. So now you would have to type in your password and you'd log in, and you get this interface which shows you all the various layers that you can view on the map. Now these would obviously be attached to your security level. Obviously we've also got, for background imagery, you can see the various background types for aerial and hybrid. What you see first when you log in, if I'm an operations manager at emergency services, you have various incidents. So you have fire, you have flood, and you also have car accidents. This one here is the one that we will be demonstrating. Usually for an incident they have a situation report that is an outline of all their resources in the current incident. And the idea is that you'll have multiple people for an incident sitting around the Surface device, and they can all read various reports. So while he was reading that, you could potentially also zoom in at the same time to that incident. So this is an incident, and it's actually a fire incident. What we will add is the ability to have specific layers for an incident. So that's various fire spots, and the idea is that the emergency services can show their current locations for their fire trucks as well as their personnel. So these are the firefighters. And one other thing they should be able to see is the path for the fire. So this is over 24 hours, and it should show where that fire is going to go. So over to here it should go. And you can switch off the layers by just tapping again.
And take the layers out. So
that's right. So we also have a huge array of layers here. So we've also got police, and you can zoom out and you can see this is actual real data for Queensland. And one other thing we've added on here is that when they're managing fires, they need to know where all their other resources are, and to work that out they need to know whether they would be deployed at other instances around Queensland. So this is actually a fire index view of Queensland. So yellow is where there's higher fire danger, and then the blue is the moderate, and green is low incident levels. We also have safe places, which are places where people can protect themselves against fire, and we also have the boundaries for the. Let's get these off. Boundaries for the regions for the emergency services. One other thing which I think is the real cool feature for this application is if I zoom back in, I'll switch off this layer, is we have, let's close it down, the plane. Now this would be a live feed from a plane. So imagine that you've got a plane over a fire, and Adash can then manipulate this, and this is showing you an infrared movie of the fire in real time, and actually shows you the coordinates of where the fire is. And up here you can actually see the real-time video for that fire, which is just smoke, and you can't see any flames, but under here you can see all their hotspots. And the good thing with this is that you can have multiple video streams. So this is the other one from the other angle. So this is the video for that, and this is the video for that. And it's really helpful for emergency services to be able to see the actual extent of the fire, which isn't obvious just from eyesight. And that's the multi-layer control, and we can just click out and go straight back out to Queensland. Now I'll hand over to Adas and he'll show you the overall dashboard control.
Now, as part of developing this application, we went out and actually visited the State Operational Command Centre, and as part of that, they have regular briefings to the state head, the Premier, and what they generate from disparate sources is a report, which is a situation report at the state level, which looks something similar to this, which has a summary by the major regions of the level of effort that's been employed to fight incidents at the places, so personnel, fire trucks, equipment, and also a summary of the significant incidents and what the current status is in terms of fire and resource deployments, all those kind of things. So the Deputy Commissioner would be the person of DCS would be the person to go and brief the Premier. So he would get this report in paper format at the moment, which we've made digital, and head over, and if you imagine there's a Surface device sitting in the Premier's office. What we've taken is this paper-based report into a graphical dashboard, which I'll show you now, that is used to brief them very quickly. So if I then logged in as the Premier to get access.
So this is Anna Bligh, who's the current Premier of Queensland.
Yeah. And log in as her. As you can see, immediately it goes from an operational view to a summary view. So it's taking the key elements from the situation report and graphically displaying it, including a graphical display of the current incident. So you could drill down and explore incidents at the individual level, or you could pull up the state level report on the side here to get a summary that way. We also have key statistics that they monitor in terms of number of incidents across the states, all the resources that are deployed, a number of personnel, and a key piece of information there is all the partner agencies, ambulance, fire, state emergency services, and how they're being utilised. You can see various dashboard elements, graphs by region of the statistics breakdown. There's also a key link to ministerial correspondence, so depending on your level of security, you'll have access to correspondence in relation to the incident. So the Deputy Commissioner would use this interface to brief the Commissioner.
And one other thing to note is obviously we've got these instants, all the figures on the dashboard change when you select each instant.
So if I click on the breakdown, if we head to one of these other ones, you can see instantly updating.
Obviously we need to fix that a little bit, but
so if you close that off. Yep. And then we also have a mobile application developed on Windows Phone 7 that does exactly what this application does with the Silverlight Big Map control.
Which shows you this region with the instance as well as resources deployed.
Yeah, and incident reports and things.
And do you want to show what would happen if you put it on there?
Oh, right. If the Commissioner then wanted to take this information away with her, if you imagine that's a Windows Phone 7 device, she would just chuck it on Surface and would sync up and via cloud services and populate the Windows Phone 7 application.
And then she would take that away and be able to brief the media on the latest information for the emergencies in Queensland.
So it enables real-time information in a very natural way, which at the moment is done through multiple interfaces and screens in the command centre into one easy-to-use, natural, intuitive device.
Yeah. And it's fantastic.